Now, it's no secret that I make videos for students to review both for AP Human Geography and AP Psychology, but I also teach full-time as well, and I get emails all the time from teachers asking, what do I do for the first day of school? Well, teachers, this video is for you, and today I want to show you one of the things that I do for the first day of school for my AP Human Geography class. To start, I skip the syllabus. My goal on the first day is to get students interested in the course and make them want to know more. When students enter my classroom, they see two maps on the screen with two simple questions. What do you notice and why? Once the bell rings, I introduce myself, briefly talk about the class, and then have the students start to talk with one another. Students talk to the people around them, get to know them, and they're talking about the maps. After a minute or so of students discussing, we come together and start sharing ideas. Students will point out that the maps are of Africa, that one of the maps is showing religion, and the list goes on and on. Eventually, sometimes with a little guidance from me, a student will point out that Islam and Christianity split the continent of Africa right along the edge of the Sahara Desert. And this is when the fun begins, because now I ask my students why. One simple, haunting question that not even Google can help them answer. Why is the continent split between Islam and Christianity? Why does it go right along the edge of the desert? I mean, really, it's strange if you think about it. Why would these two religions almost perfectly split the continent? Now, at this point, I tell students to talk with the people around them to try and see if they can figure out the why. Students will start talking about colonization, imperialism, the environment, money, culture, and none of those answers fully explain it. So students will keep working with their peers trying to figure out the why. And here I let them talk, I let them Google, I let them use their resources, anything they can to try and figure out the answer. All of this is supposed to help them get closer to the answer, but it'll never give them the direct answer. Even ChatGPT or Google Bard cannot give the students the exact answer that they're looking for. And that's the point. This gets students thinking and working with their peers to better understand the world in which we live. Eventually, we come back together as a class and we go over possible why answers. We also talk about scale and how scale of this data changes what we're looking at and other aspects of the maps. Now, oftentimes, we don't actually get to the right answer on the first day of class. There is a right answer, but students just can't figure it out. And instead of giving them the right answer, I decide not to tell them. And instead, this becomes an ongoing challenge assignment for any students interested. And eventually, we come back to this during later units of the course. My goal here is to simply get students working together right from the start, get them used to asking questions and giving answers that might be wrong. I also show students that oftentimes in this class, the simple answer on Google is not enough. And this is just the introduction of the lesson and the class. The rest of the class, we look at different photos to explore the impact of density, culture, resources, and money on a place. We look at different thematic maps and explore what the data being shown tells us about society. And we end the class by learning about the 5 themes of geography. Throughout this whole class, the majority of the talking is done by my students. I am merely a guide helping them move through the information. Now, as you can tell, there's a lot going on in this lesson. So to help my students out, I have created guided notes that go along with the lesson. Since the majority of this lesson is students talking with one another and asking questions, the guided notes allow them to be able to keep moving forward in the right direction. And it also gets them used to taking notes in my class. Speaking of the notes, if you're interested in using this Google slideshow and my guided notes, you can click the link in the description down below and get a copy of it all for free today. Also, if you are looking for more teacher resources, don't forget that for the first time ever, any teacher that gets a bulk order of my ultimate review packet for their students also gets all of my teacher worksheets and answer keys for free. If you are interested in any of these resources, make sure to click the link below to get some free samples and more information. So for me, that first day of school is all about getting my students excited for the class, getting them to ask why questions, look at data, examine different photos, and get them to start to understand just how cool AP Human Geography is. Now, you'll have to let me know what you decide to do on your first day of school. Let me know in the comment section down below, or feel free to send me an email. I hope all of you have a great school year. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm Mr. Sin. I'll see you next time online.